I know Kingdom Come's only really just come out and people want to, revel in the game that it's at the moment, but there's been a lot of talk about, and especially after sort of the, in quotes, in my opinion, more of a disappointing ending to Kingdom Come, where is the next part coming? And why is there talk of a sequel? Well, first off, as part of the Kickstarter campaign video that was released when actually Kingdom Come was actually first announced to the public, Daniel Vavra, who of course you do know is the lead, I think he's the lead director of the game. This was his whole idea, and he said that Kingdom Come would be split into 3 acts. Now, this was all good and fine at the time, but the Kickstarter was, let's just say, slightly successful, with, I think it was $1.1 million, and of course they did have some money to put on top of that, so they kind of wanted to up the ante a little bit. They put the scale of Kingdom Come to the next level, and this is where Kingdom Come comes in as we know it today. Now, there's been a bit of speculation about how much of the game they first planned is now in Kingdom Come, but it seems to be fairly accepted that Acts 1 and 2 are in Kingdom Come Deliverance as we know it at the moment, and Act 3 is nowhere really to be seen. So what's really going on with that? We do know that it's necessary to split the game into small 3 acts, so it doesn't seem so overwhelming, so that's why they did it as they were saying it on the Kickstarter, and of course they had no idea how much money they were going to get at that time, so they thought it'll probably be better if we split into 3 small games, and then we can see how the first one did. If that gets enough money, we can get to the next one, and then if that gets enough money, the next one. But since it was so successful, of course, that isn't really up to date anymore. This isn't really what's going to happen. In an interview in 2016, so this was quite a while ago, a couple of years before the game was actually released, it was specified that Kingdom Come would be this big open world RPG title, but it would have a closed story. Now that interested me because the story for Kingdom Come is definitely not closed. No spoilers in this video, but if you want to know more about the ending, go and watch my why I dislike or why I hate the Kingdom Come Deliverance ending video, and you'll get more information about it there. And they also said in this interview, now keep in mind this was quite a while ago, so this has been subject to change, that there would be a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and of course it's not really the official name, but this would offer a new map, a new story, and everything else. Which is interesting, because if it's a whole new story, then it can't be a continuation for Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and as we know, the ending for Kingdom Come leaves it pretty open, as if there was going to be another bit of a story. Now, of course, you can accept that maybe we'll be following something else, and I think they might have gone this direction with, we already know that there's probably already confirmed a DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is following the footsteps of a woman in this area, probably Teresa or Stephanie, or maybe even Bianca from the very start of Kingdom Come, Henry's girlfriend at the beginning. So maybe this is what they were talking about. Maybe they think, hey, we can't just make a whole new storyline and a whole new game because they left it so open in the first one, and they thought, how about we put that new storyline in a DLC for the first one? That might be what's happening with that whole female character DLC. The engine development, they have stated, of course, making games is extremely expensive, and creating this engine costs them a lot of money, and they don't want to just ditch it and move on to something else now. They want to keep this engine, so we can expect that the next game, or whatever comes afterwards, is definitely going to be using the same engine. Of course, it will be completely optimized, probably overhauled a lot, and changed quite a bit to fit it, and fix some of the issues and bugs that are in Kingdom Come at the moment, but it will be on the whole engine. But in the same interview back in 2016, this was of course before they knew how successful it would be, and they stated they would only make a sequel if it was a successful game, the first one of course, and we do know it sold pretty well. I think it was about 1 million copies in the first week, which is absolutely incredible, especially for a game company of their size and of course their first IP. But even if it was for a big game company, 1 million copies in a week, that is not something to sniff about. I mean, that is pretty incredible. Wait, to sniff about, is that even a saying? I think I'd said that one wrong. But anyway, nonetheless, I think it's safe to say from the tweets and stuff and the reaction we've been getting from the developers and the updates of things they've been bringing out, they're pretty sure that Kingdom Come has been a great success, probably more than they could have ever hoped for. They're saying they've made their money back and a nice tidy profit from it. At least that's what I've been told from some interviews. Don't hold me to that if that's wrong. So it looks like we're almost definitely going to be getting something else, a sequel. Definitely DLCs, I would say, in the future, but probably most likely, of course, a sequel. Now, it's not necessarily going to be set in the same place, and this kind of interested me. Why would you not set it in the same place? But then I thought, this could be a hint to something being set in Prague, because at the end of Kingdom Come, they head to a different place. They head to a big city, and it leaves it on that cliffhanger. So Maybe this is the new map, the new area, the new place, the new storyline, but I just feel like having a new storyline means it's not the storyline of Henry trying to fight Sigismund, which of course is the whole principle of the first one. So maybe they go to the city and you play as someone else, but I think they're going to be sticking with Henry because he's a very successful character and, you know, he's very well developed, and you don't want to just go moving on to someone else after spending a whole game with this one guy. Something a little bit weird I saw in an interview is saying that they could take this engine, this format, this sort of structure they've got to Kingdom Come, and taking it to new eras, like a bit like the Assassin's Creed games do. Or I mean, I feel like that could work, but I feel like the whole charm of it is the first RPG, as in hardcore RPG set in this realistic medieval Bohemia. There's nothing really quite like that, and if they kept changing places a bit like Assassin's Creed, it'd get a bit old at some point. I'd like them to keep it in the same place, but of course, I mean, it could work changing it to different places. So that's definitely a possibility that could keep going, but I don't really see that happening since it's been such a success, its uniqueness set in this era. Now, of course, Act 3 is nowhere to be seen. I did mention that Act 1 and 2 is pretty much in the Kingdom Come first game. So what's going to happen with Act 3? When is it going to come? Everyone's speculating, is it going to be in a standalone game, the sequel, or is it going to be in DLCs or expansions? Who knows? I mean, of course the developers know, but there's nothing really to tell us what's going on with that. Now, the ending Kingdom Come just leaves so much to the question of the player that I really hope we get something soon. What I'm hoping, personally, is that we get the DLC of Teresa's story. Well, I'll keep saying Teresa. The woman's storyline. It's not definitely Teresa, that's just my speculation. The DLC there, maybe a few more DLCs and more actual side storylines and things like that, playing as different characters, side characters that we've met in the first game, and then the sequel is following Henry's storyline. So this way we've got one big storyline going through multiple games, which is Henry's storyline. He is the center of this. Then we have like DLCs coming in every which way, which will take us on a smaller, maybe a 1 or 2 or 3 hour story quest as one of the side characters that we meet along Henry's storyline, such as one as Sir Ragzig. We get to know about his past or something like that, or of course Teresa, how she came to be or what she does later on, and of course Henry's father, the blacksmith, maybe even something about him, as we know that in the beginning you can see his sword fighting skills. Maybe he did something before, maybe he's in the army and things like that. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't know where they're going to be going with this, but I'd love to wait and find out. But I really want to know what you guys think. What would you guys like for a sequel? Maybe you don't want them to do a sequel, who knows, maybe you just felt a little bit left down by the ending, how it was so open, and you kind of want to get your closed storyline, like they said back in 2016 that this would be a closed storyline. It's not really, and I was kind of hoping that it would be, so I'm a bit disappointed by that. But nonetheless, make sure you leave a comment down below what you guys would like this direction to go for the War Studios team Kingdom Come Deliverance. But until then guys, I will see you in the next one.